Hi, everybody. Welcome to our second session of Kanatadark, Cthulhu Dark. And I'm super excited to be back and playing. And yeah, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves and who we're playing, all of that good stuff. And then I'm going to hand it over to Matthias and let him take over. I'm Katie. I am playing Penny. I use she, her pronouns. Both of us do. What about you, Mal?
Hi, I'm Mal. I'm playing Jonah, and he's not having a good day, and we both use he, him pronouns.
Poor Jonah. What about you, Summer?
I thought you were having a great day because it's Canada Day. I'm having a bad day. I'm Summer, she, her, and I'm playing Gulliver, he, him. Nothing weird to see down by the lake. Nobody go down there. No, perfectly normal day at the lake.
Nothing. Birdie, what about you?
That's me. I'm Birdie, aka the Birdie-saurus, and I am playing Garrett. I use she, her pronouns, and Garrett uses he, him pronouns, and he's having a bad year, so he wins.
To be fair, I think we're all having a pretty... No, I can't even say that. Gulliver is like...
No, Gulliver's living his
Gulliver's
best life.
Fucking thriving.
Yeah.
The three of us?
This might be the first bad day of his life.
Yeah, like how is he gonna handle dealing with the first bad day of his life?
Well, as we've seen, he's not dealing with it.
That's true. He fucking ran away from a dead body.
He got feared, okay? He had to run. Also, he had a personal best to keep up, so.
gotta keep that heart rate going.
Yeah, you can't slow down.
And last but certainly not least, I believe it's called the director in Cthulhu Dark, Matthias.
Sorry, I was talking to chat. Hi, I'm Matthias. I use he, him pronouns. And yeah, we're playing Cthulhu Dark. Where do I have my notes? Which is our particular game is it's about 4 people in a remote lakeside resort town that are tied up in a mysterious tragedy. And as their investigation deepens into that, more than just that mystery will become unraveled. We're using safety tools for this game. Like always, we do for any game. We've got lines and veils set up. Lines are things that never come up in the fiction. And veils are things that can be part of the fiction, but that we fade to black on or do not dwell on. And we've got the X, N, and O cards that we're using for during play. X card is should we come across some content you do not feel comfortable having in the game, you can X card it like that, or with an X in chat, or just say, I want to X card that. Then we roll back the fiction and take it in another direction. The N card is... to let everyone know, oh, we're coming up on something sensitive and we might want to fade to black on that zone. And the O card is for those moments when we are in very emotional territory, but we want to continue exploring that. We can use that also as a check-in. Oh, question mark in chat. Confirming with a no, just as a sign, a non-verbal sign as well. Yes. So instead of doing like just a rundown of what happened last time, I think just gotta think about the order here. Yes, I think Jonah, do you wanna run down the open questions we ended up with last time?
Sure, I can do that, but I have a question to start with. Can I X card knowing that my wife boned Gulliver?
Wait, in character you don't know that though, right?
Yeah, you don't know that.
Yes,
so you're
in character I don't know.
So, but Mal, you can wash it from your brain and pretend you don't know it. I think all of us also don't want to know it.
I mean, at this point, he doesn't even want to know it.
actually, like, I'm gonna take this seriously. If you want to, we can put in the line that you will like. The line would be that you know that Gulliver boned your wife. Then you will never find out about that in the game. Otherwise, please.
No, I think I'm actually okay. I just.
I mean, I can keep that a secret. I'm the only other person who
Sure,
knows.
you can.
Can you know?
I believe that 100%.
Yeah, we can just let the whole, like everybody else in town know, except you. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's fine. Yeah. So the real questions that we have: who killed Chloe? How did she die? Who were her enemies? Where did she die? Who is going to gain from her death? Who wrote the letter? Why contact Penny? Who else knows about it? How long has she been dead?
So I picked you specifically to read these questions because I want to start us off with a very specific target. I want to go through a montage of what happens in the aftermath of the finding of the body. So everything about like the police arriving, the police like taking up details of everybody, interviewing people, and the target that we're going to have is basically the first actual real scene, in a sense, would then be Jonah sitting in the police station being interrogated. And I think the way to do this is going to be, so we'll have like a montage of snippets of scenes. And I have specific questions for each of you, so you can all like contribute part of the scene. Oh, before that, one important detail. I do not want us to focus, because we've got Danny and Ethan here and their dead mother. So this is kind of, yeah. I don't think I want to delve deep into how their experiences of this. Like, let's keep it on the from the POV of the adults here. So my questions that I have that I want us all, and you can definitely collaborate on this when this time when it becomes time. So for Penny, I want to kind of know from your perspective how Jonah's arrest is going down. What happens with the kids? Like, who takes care of them immediately? And you don't have to explain this in rational detail, but why or how you're not forwarding the letter as evidence to the police. Garrett, from you, I want to know, like, you get to frame and to describe how this looks like. How does seeing Chloe's dead body bring up memories of Jesse? What horrible image of her and the accident does it conjure back into your mind? And Gulliver, the rest of the aftermath, like collecting witness reports, how that goes for you, because you're one of the witnesses who called, and what and how that takes, all of that takes awfully long, and what's annoying you about how things are handled. And that should bring us to the first scene of like actual back and forth when Jonah's being questioned at the station. But feel free to chime in with anything that directly concerns you, or if you have an idea. Well, like that's completely fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can start though, and I think so. I think in the TV show, the way this plays out is, you know how you have all these, like with all these trailers and stuff, you have these songs that are being turned into like sad versions and slow versions of those songs, and it's kind of really annoying. We're going to do that actually. I think we're going to do that with Leonard Cohen's Anthem. Right, that's the song that starts. The birds they sang at the break of day. Start again, I heard them say. Don't dwell on what has passed away or what is yet to be. And we fade like over from that song to like actual hearing a little bit snippets of what people say and stuff like that. And I think we see a Detective Sergeant Murray roll up, who is going to be heading this investigation. And he has this very cold, matter of fact presence, taking it up. We kind of get the impression, though, and I think we probably see this, like he's got part of the uniform on, but like the shirt he's wearing underneath is kind of that should have seen a cleaner, probably a little earlier. He's underneath it all not that well put together. So who wants to answer their questions?
I have an answer for mine. So my prompt is how the interviews are being handled, like witness interviews.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know exactly. I don't know that Gulliver would know why this is, but it's very clear. Maybe all of the like experienced police officers are going back to the station. But there's an officer who's very clearly new to the force, who has somehow been put in charge of collecting witnesses. And what's ending up happening is people who didn't even really know her that well are coming forward with like these crazy claims of like who they think did it, or, you know, like saying like it's always the husband kind of thing, like talking about their relationship when they really didn't know anything about it. Right. And so it ends up being like people who did know her, or like in Gulliver's case, like found her, are weirdly getting pushed to the back because they're a little bit more traumatized and therefore not as vocal, right?
Yeah.
So the people who are dealing with the immediate grief of her death are being not given priority in the investigation.
Is there anyone from, if we look at our cork board, is there any one of those that jumps out at you that who might be like offering way too much?
Yeah, yes. I think probably Jackie. Seems like, I mean, and obviously like Jackie knew Chloe, but they weren't as, you know? So I think, and just Jackie is such a vocal person that, and loves gossip, right? So Jackie has somehow become like a star witness, and is being given like way too much I don't know, say in what's going on right now.
Yeah, that new guy is really eating that up. Like,
Yeah.
he thinks he's on a hot trail there.
Yeah, he thinks he's getting like proof. Yeah.
By the way, you're all GMs, so you should be able to do everything on the roll 20.
Oh, cool.
Keeping notes and stuff.
And I would also say that, so like Jackie has a sweet spot for Gulliver, right? Because Gulliver lives in their garage. And so like some people might be inclined to throw Gulliver under the bus, but that's not happening literally at all. Because Jackie's the one that's like screaming that they know what happened, you know?
Gulliver would never find a body and just run off. Never.
Well, I mean, like they know that they had an affair.
Yeah.
Like, which would make Gulliver an easy suspect. But that's not happening yet.
The one secret Jackie isn't screaming about.
Yeah. Well, I think that Jackie has a very clear idea of what they think happened.
When it's probably only later, maybe even only when like you've also been brought to the police station, just as a witness, not nothing more than that.
Yeah.
That you realize, okay, the way this is going to lead that it's all going to take forever today.
Yeah.
Ugh, how dare this dead body take up my whole Canada Day.
Yeah, Gulliver is really wishing that he had a stiff drink right now.
I mean, has anything stopped him? He went behind the bar. Has he stopped him from just grabbing a bottle?
No, probably not.
I mean, let's be real here. It's a lot of chaos going on.
I don't think he would have straight up stolen it.
Well, I'm not saying stolen.
Some money.
He probably would have paid for it like at some point, but I don't think anything stopped him from just taking a bottle.
That's true.
Yeah.
How did this arrest actually go down, Penny?
So
because probably
I was gonna say I think it was very, very messy. I don't think there was any kind of like what's the word I'm trying to... I don't think there was any like consideration taken for the fact that Chloe's children were there. Like the victims' children were actively there. I think that because it is such a small place and there were so many people at Sophie's bar, that when it was reported, I think the rumor or I think the fact that it was Chloe spread almost immediately. And so before the cops even got there, I started looking at Jonah and whispers started rising up in the crowd and things just started getting a little awkward. And sort of that like classic TV movie like hush falls over the crowd as you see the lights, you know, in the distance, and you hear the echo of the ambulance, you know, heading down to the lakeside. And I think it's a very very little consideration taken for the victim's family, even if like they immediately have this suspicion of Jonah. And I don't think they like handcuff him and put him into the back of a cruiser, but I think the way that he is treated is very...
Is it like
rude.
Do we get like snippets when like the music cuts out again, or we actually hear voices where it's like someone asking, Mr. Castle, which we need you to come with us, and no one has actually even told Jonah yet what's supposed to have happened?
Yeah, like I think everyone but Jonah knows something. Like, Jonah knows something's going on, clearly, but I think everyone but Jonah knows it involves Chloe. Might involve him, and so it's this very awkward and very cold situation.
So,
and I think, because you asked me about, like, I think Jackie, while also spreading this sort of these stories, I think that they sort of take it amongst themselves to put to take the kids inside the bar and sit them up somewhere, make sure that they're shielded until the cops sort of take them as well. I think Jackie takes it among themselves to make sure the kids are not having to witness this.
Mm-hmm. And what happens with the letter? Is there anything?
Yeah. I think Penny genuinely forgets about it. And all the chaos that's happening, she just, she had when we left off, when Jonah had pointed out that it wasn't Chloe's handwriting, she had sort of shoved it back down in her bag. And through all of this happening, I think she just genuinely, it slipped her mind.
How's the moment for you, Jonah, when you're arrested? And I don't know how much we need to reiterate how the game works here. So anytime you experience something disturbing, you can roll your insight die. And this is either if you as a player feel that way, or if you think your character feels that way. You do not have to ask me to do that, actually. You can just actually do that when something happens. Because at some point you're probably asking what you're being arrested for, right?
Yeah.
And I think we hear this audio snippet then basically as an answer before the music sets in again, and we see the reaction on your face where it's like, sir, your wife has been found dead.
What? How? What? No, that's not. What do you mean, dead?
Sir, do not cause a scene. Just come with us now. And I think that's where the music cuts back in, and we hear the lyrics, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Yeah, we see you being pulled away by the police.
I think Jonah's too shocked to do anything.
Yeah, that sounds like you need to roll your insight die.
But I'm not seeing anything disturbing.
You're experiencing something disturbing, right?
Sure. I just wanted to see what your answer would be. How far I could push
Can't
it.
weasel your way out of this one.
Like not.
Oh no, you have to raise your insight die.
Yep.
Wait, do you like genuinely not believe that it's her, that they're mistaken or something like that, or are you just like in shock?
I think this is a good answer.
I think it's all of them, really.
Yeah. Right, and if you roll higher, then you're actually taken by the shock or by the experience. So you can use the way that die roll goes as a as a prompt for your role playing, right? If you roll under or equal to your insight, then you're still kind of more in control and of how things are going. Yeah, raise that insight by 1. But here's the question for Garrett. What's happening down, like, at the beach? Because last time we only ended up on focusing on your face as you were calling the police. No, what's that experience doing to you?
I had just seen her, right? Like that's all it was. I had seen the body and
Yeah, you were
Okay.
looking down on the body, pulled out your phone and called the police.
Okay. Sorry. I was fighting with my computer for the first 10 minutes, so I missed the recap. But I did rewatch most of the episodes, so except for that very end part. It doesn't matter. Garrett is very calm, like too calm. Because when he lost his wife and she got in the wreck, he had to go down to the hospital or to the morgue and like identify the body and all this stuff. And the like marred parts of her face kind of were mirrored in Chloe's face. And whether he doesn't know whether, she got knocked up against a rock or drug along the beach for a while or something, but she's got like scratches and marks across her face that just made him think back to seeing his wife's face in the morgue. And because she'd been thrown out of the car and there was what do you call it, road rash basically, like on her face. And so he almost shuts down on the inside. And so he calls the cops and he's very calm and he's just like, hello, I would like to report a body. I found a body. There's a body on the beach. I think her name is Chloe. Guys, can you send someone? I'm not really sure what to do. What do I do with it? Do I wait? Is anyone there? Are you guys listening? There's a body on the beach.
I think the other side is
he's gonna just keep talking.
yeah, and we only see that part of the conversation. While you're still staring at no, not your wife, at this other woman. Did we establish that? How well did you know Chloe?
I knew what she looked like because we'd done parent-teacher conferences before with the kids.
Yeah.
I would recognize her.
Mm-hmm. I think it takes a while for you to recognize her, though. Like it's just like to make this actual connection,
right?
Because it's again and again that image in that sterile room at the hospital where you were supposed to, at the morgue hospital where you were identifying your wife.
Yeah, I can imagine for a second he almost thought it was her. Like he saw his wife a little bit and he was just like, huh, oh, wait, huh? I just had to look 3 or 4 times.
So in a way, it sounds like you might be investigating here.
Okay.
Because you're looking at very intently for a long time at that body.
Makes sense.
So I think that's a thing you can do.
Okay.
So it's part of your capacity as a human. So that's 1 die.
Looking around. I feel like it's appropriate to use my what's it called?
Inside die.
Die. Just because I am kind of losing my mind a little bit, I would imagine in this moment. Not because I really want to use it, I just feel like it's appropriate. So
I agree. The way we're going to handle this, it's always the last die. If you're using your inside die, that's going to be the one represented.
Okay. And Tell me, because I don't use Roll20 a lot. How do I roll it in Roll20?
Yeah, I'll write it in chat to you. It's just
Okay.
/r.
Nope, that's a G. Okay. If I could type, that would be awesome. Okay. There we go. Oh. I got 4 and a 2.
A 4 and a 2. The positive side of this is your
I learned
insight die
stuff.
is not the highest one.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's how it works. If the insight die is higher than your other roll.
then it
Okay.
triggers something strange or weird or
Okay.
something
Okay.
deeper. Yeah.
Got it.
But
I
I
haven't
think
lost my mind yet.
no. I think what happens here, or what comes up here, is as we get those flashes of your wife's face, which is like eerily similar in the wounds and in her paleness, I think we also get whoever the morgue technician or doctor was that was there on that day, and we hear his voice saying something akin to, yeah, she was found this morning just from her state. She must have had her accident over 12 hours ago.
Oh, she was missing for so long.
And like, you putting that together tells you also Chloe must have died 12 hours ago.
Ooh, I am a good investigator. I probably won't tell the cops this though, because I figure A, they can figure it out on their own, and B, that would make me seem very guilty. Oh, by the way, she was killed at exactly 12:47.
Yeah.
But that's it. Okay. Now I don't remember, since the insight die was lower, do I do anything with insight or just leave it be?
No. So it would have triggered an insight check if it had been higher.
Okay. It's been a couple weeks since
unless you find the situation to be creeping you out so much that you want to roll your insight die anyways. That's up to you though.
I'm okay. I don't get creeped out by anything.
Yeah, you or Garrett. So if you're saying, but Garrett is definitely creeped out, you can decide that. But you described him as being very collected.
Yeah, scarily so almost.
Yeah.
You said she died at 12:47.
I made that up. I was just joking.
Oh. That's no, but I think that's correct though.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes it midday right now, right? About 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah, we were about 1 p.m. in the afternoon when Penny left the house. So it's like when we're done with this montage, it's like approaching evening.
Yeah.
It's all taking so long. But yeah, does this answer questions?
I just wrote the answer. How long has she been dead?
Mm-hmm. Does it open up any new questions?
No, not for me.
For me, it would be, was she with anyone? Like, who was she with 12 hours ago?
Yeah. Feel free to add that.
Oh, was that AM or was that PM?
That would be AM. Yeah.
What was she doing out so late when she had the kids? Because
she didn't.
Oh, I thought she just dropped them off this morning.
No, she gave the kids to Jonah on Friday.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I remembered it that morning.
It was a long weekend.
Got it.
For Jonah to take the kids, but that was not a thing that was actually planned. That happened pretty spontaneously, so I remember correctly. Like you were called up to go get the kids probably Friday morning or something like that, Jonah.
Yeah, I would say it was probably like at the latest it would have been after lunch, like afternoon Friday, like literally a little afternoon Friday.
Okay. Yeah, that you
would have to make the drive out and then back.
And you had to find a replacement or for your shift Friday night and all that stuff, which you all did, right? That's no question there. Yeah. So then, let's cut to like this windowless interrogation room. You've been sat down on one side of a table. I think you're feeling like, what is this, a bad movie? Like they have the one-way mirror there, and you're sitting there and you think you must have been sitting there 30 minutes, 45 minutes by now. Is anyone ever going to come? When the door clicks open and this detective comes in and he settles down without saying a word, slaps down like a case file or something, and then looks up and says, okay, so Mr. Castle, name's Sergeant Detective Murray. Do I have your details right here? And he like twists a paper over, and someone collected your details beforehand, right? And slides that paper over. Look, have a look.
So it's just like name, address, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Looks correct. What is this about?
Well, can you tell me what you were doing last night? Say between 9 o'clock in the evening and 3 in the morning.
I was at the ranger station with the kids. I had picked them up on Friday.
Your kids. That's Denny and Ethan, right?
Yes.
And they're your kids?
Yes, they're my kids.
From your marriage, right?
Yes. Listen, you got to tell me what's going on. Someone told me you found my wife and she's dead. You need to tell me what's going on. Stop asking me questions and give me some information.
Yeah, you had been going through a divorce, hadn't you? Is that correct?
I'm not answering any more questions until you tell me what's going on.
Listen, pal. It's not looking good. I have to be honest with you. Your wife's been found dead, washed up on the beach of the lake.
I think hearing that again, Jonah's face goes a little white. And
now, will you answer my question? How has the divorce been going? Had you been fighting recently?
No, we haven't. I haven't. We.
What do you mean? You're going through a divorce and you haven't been fighting? Do you seriously expect me to believe that?
What the last time I saw her, we hadn't been fighting. No, she called me up. She asked me to pick up the kids. I made arrangements. I've been busy with the kids since Friday. How's the divorce going? I don't know. How do any divorces go? Even a good divorce sucks.
I mean, we have to look into this. It doesn't look like an accident. So did she have any enemies? Who would have done something like this to your wife? Oh. What do you call that? You're not divorced yet? Is that an ex-wife yet? Like, what's the actual term for that?
I mean, I think if the divorce isn't final, it's still husband and wife. They're just separated.
Okay. So you're separated wife. That's correct, then?
Sure.
I think you look mighty pale. Should we, like, can I get you something? Maybe you're like under sugared. We'll have to keep you for a while anyway, I think. Also, we've got like way too many reports going on here. God, that new kid.
Unless you have reason to arrest me, I'd like to go. I have to go make sure the kids are okay.
Oh yeah, no, you're a prime suspect, Sir Castle. You have a motive. What was your wife doing here? Isn't she living over on the other side of the lake?
Listen, I don't know all of the regulations, but I've seen enough. I've read enough. If you think I'm a suspect and you're going to arrest me, I want my phone call and I want a lawyer. And I'm not answering any more questions until those happen.
Nice. I think this is a role. So because there's not just investigation roles, if you want to try to achieve something, there's also a role to do that. And I think you're trying to, well, what do you call it? To actually get proper representation, all that kind of stuff here, right? And proper treatment. And they don't have murder cases every day, so I think this is a way you can probably talk your way out of this. But I also feel, and actually I wouldn't have to be doing that. Any of the other players could be saying this, saying, I think in this instance, there's actually an interesting failure consequence. And then we can roll, that person will roll a die opposed to yours.
When you say failure consequence, is that something that happens externally to the character, or can we offer something that the character does as a failure consequence?
Both can work, right? Because you could be saying, I think this is so much pressure that you might break down emotionally here.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I think an interesting failure consequence, not necessarily isn't you like getting out of here, But I think an interesting failure would be to get out of here, you have to throw someone else under the bus. If you failed.
Okay.
But that's just me, because I want to see who you think is guilty of killing your wife.
I like that. Yeah. So your way of talking yourself out of this situation is that's inside of human capability. So that's 1 die. You can add your insight die, or you can just roll and see how this goes, and then decide to roll your insight die afterwards. Like you don't actually have to commit to the insight die as a bonus die. You can do that after the roll. So.
I don't I think that, well, that depends. I don't
Also, I think like if you don't agree to that failure consequence, you could name a different one for yourself.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Burning Wheel.
Welcome to Burning Wheel, where me and Summer will argue with you for over 2/3 of the game about what we want.
Just come up with something better, more interesting as a failure.
My alternative failure is that I wanted to present is that they actually keep you here for the maximum amount that they can, which is, I don't know, like the entire next day or something like that, before they like legally have to let you go.
I don't know Canada
unless
law,
they have
but isn't
a
America
payment.
like 48, 20 something hours without a charge? And then you,
Like 32.
it's like between 20 and 40. So yeah, but I don't know
Yeah.
Canada law.
Plot twist. We never hear from Jonah again. Who killed him? We don't know. Was it the detective? Probably.
This detective that now in my headcanon owns a tanning salon because he really cares about Jonah's paleness. He's gonna give him some coupons for tanning.
96 hours is their
Oh,
maximum if you're suspected of a serious crime, and the example is murder. So, but they have to apply for it. They can't just do it. It's 24 hours otherwise.
that's in Canada?
That's just what Wikipedia says. Or yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
definitely
it's going to be 24 hours, and we'll see what happens. It might extend to the 96.
I mean, I like the idea of potentially throwing someone else under the bus, but I don't know that he has enough information to try and do that to anyone.
You could just make someone up. Can we do that in this game, Matthias? Or do we need to pull someone off the board?
Sure. Like introduce more NPCs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like hundreds of people in this city, right?
Sure. And I mean, and who knows? The world. It could be anybody.
Yeah. Did Chloe have a new boyfriend?
No, it was Donald Trump. He did it.
Why don't you throw the other ranger under the bus? That's fun.
And it's like Jonah might not be doing this consciously. You might just be saying the wrong thing if you prefer that. Like if you don't want it to be a malicious act by Jonah. And we do not even know if like your opposed die will beat you. Do we just want to roll and see what the outcome is, and then we go to a break, and when we come back, we know what we're going to do with the outcome?
Listen, I'm here for drama, so we all need to work hard for the drama.
I'm okay with rolling and then figuring it out. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you really want drama, just have Gulliver bust into the police station with no shirt on.
I'm very busy being held up by this newbie cop asking me weird questions. What were your plans for Canada Day?
Roll
Oh,
off,
sucks to get stuck
roll
here.
off, roll off, roll off.
That's a 3. That's beatable. Somebody, you're rolling the opposed die.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Ooh,
Nope.
ooh, spicy,
No need
but
to
not
add your
spicy
insight.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll see the outcome of that after the break.
Yeah, everyone, we will be right back. We're gonna take a quick break, go get a drink, and we'll come back and let's pray Jonah gets his life together. We'll be right back. Hi, friends. We're back. Gonna throw it back over to Matthias.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna tennis racket it back to you, because what's Penny been up to in the afternoon?
I think like I said, it was a very much of like a clusterfuck, of what was happening.
Mhm.
And I think she took it upon herself to go inside of Sophie's and help out with the kids. Because we had established that she knew Chloe at least from high school, and was probably relatively okay with Jonah, probably friends with Jonah because of they're knowing each other from the bar. And I think she took it upon herself to sit down with the kids and sort of be there to make sure that they're gonna be scared and freaked out, but she was trying to mitigate that as much as she could.
Yeah, to dissuade them for the moment.
Yeah, that she's someone that they probably. I'm not saying they're close by any means, but they would at least know who Penny is. She's not a stranger.
Yeah. Would have Jackie kind of drifted off where they would be perceived as more important after the initial, oh yes, I'm gonna take care of the kids. And
I think Jackie mostly wanted to get the kids away from the situation, which was really smart. And then Jackie wanted to sort of do what Jackie does best, which is watch and listen and
and stay in the limelight. Also, I think Jackie also has been taken to the station because they were really adamant about knowing lots of stuff.
And giving their opinion and their side of this story. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. And it's part of why everything's taking so long at the station as well, because it's been very chaotic.
And I think like Penny is at this part where she's been sitting in this bar with two kids, not really sure what to do with them. and I think it's very like the anxiety is like creeping up on her. She's got like a little bit of a sweat on the back of her neck, and she hasn't had a drink in hours, and she doesn't know what to do with these two kids that are not her kids, that she doesn't really have a tie to, besides it was their kids of a high school friend who's now dead.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, it's clear that the kids are scared and do not understand what's going on. And you probably don't, like, because you don't actually know. So what are you going to tell them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to...
it's not like she can say... and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone knows enough that it's Chloe that's dead, right? So... it's not like she can say, your mom's gonna be okay. She can't say that.
As the afternoon draws on longer and longer, you do not hear back from anyone. This is obviously the talk of the town now. Putting a dampener on the whole festivities on one way. On the other hand, everyone's together and already everyone has been drinking. So do you decide to take them home with you, or do you decide to
so I think she looks over at like Sophie behind the bar, and I think Sophie is like very adamantly trying not to make eye contact, because Penny's like, what am I gonna do with these kids? And, you know, Sophie's like, not my problem. Finally, like, when she, you know, hears nothing back, she just leans forward to Danny and sort of, like, awkwardly gives her, like, this little shoulder pat, and is just like, are you guys hungry? Do you need any... I should probably get you somewhere. I should probably take you home. I think that's what your dad would want.
And she's okay. I think he keeps a key in the platted pond.
Words.
What's the word?
Potted plant.
Potted plant.
Plotted pants, man. They'll get you every time.
I think maybe I should take you back to my house.
Okay. But how will Dad know that to get us there?
I'll call the station. I'll make sure he knows where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, and she makes sure to tell Sophie also, just in case, you know, by some reason Jonah goes back to the bar. But she...
Or maybe, like, a police officer actually comes looking for the kids to collect them.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. And then she makes a note to or she walks the kids back to her house.
Yeah, and it is in walking distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to avoid people there?
People out, like, still outside of the bar?
Yeah. I
don't think Penny is trying to avoid them herself, because Penny genuinely does not know what's going on. She's trying to... Yeah, exactly. She's trying to get the kids out of there as quickly as she possibly can. She doesn't want any... You know, she doesn't want to make this any harder on them.
Who broke Birdie?
Yeah, she's dying just like Chloe is. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna make that joke at least 5 times a session. I don't apologize for it.
I think that's a roll.
Okay.
I want to see how that goes. So that's one that's within human capabilities, so that's 1 die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you are like teacher would actually apply here.
I'm not a teacher.
But you're not the teacher of this group.
But I am a newspaper columnist, writer.
Yeah.
How can I argue for this?
Don't let her have it.
Summer, I swear to God.
I don't think there is a reasonable way to get that die.
Fine. I can use my insight die though, right?
Yeah, if you want to, you can also just roll the die, the human die first, and then see what that results.
Okay, I'll do that.
You don't have to use the insight die right away.
I'll do that one first. Just a d6, correct?
Yes.
There's a 1.
Spice. Nothing but spice on these rolls.
That's a great roll night for us, buddies.
So I think what happens here is so 1 is you barely do what you set out to do, and I think there's definitely you take them off the main street, right? So that you don't have to walk through the crowds of people and stuff like that, but you basically directly walk them into I think this is a bunch of Danny's classmates.
Oh, that's
and they like immediately start pointing at them. Do you want to roll your insight die to improve that?
Yeah.
What's the consequence of this going badly?
There's no consequence. Like, she just barely does it. So this will leave the kids more disturbed and unsettled, but it's she's going to get them to her home.
Right.
Like, no one's going to outright like yell at them, "Your mom died." Like, that's not going to happen.
Kids are great.
Right?
Kids are just wonderful. I love kids. Yeah, I want to roll it. The duality of man.
Yeah. But your insight die is now the highest die you rolled.
Which isn't good, right?
So 2 things about this.
I love.
This is what I was asking about. This is what.
Yeah, I love.
One-
I love this already.
One, yes, 1 on a 6, you do too well and may get a glimpse of the horror.
Bring it on, session 2, baby.
Does that only happen on your insight die, or does that happen on any roll? The 6.
On any roll.
Yeah.
You actually want to get a 5. 5
Yeah.
is actually the best result.
Listen,
6 is too good.
Penny is hasn't had a drink in a while and is dealing with kids she doesn't know nor really like. So yeah, give her some horror. Let her see it.
She's doing really well because she's sober.
Nah, we wouldn't say well. That's not a word I would choose.
Yeah.
You also have to roll an insight check here to see how you deal with what you're going to experience.
Is that
now.
also a d6?
That's also a d6, yes.
Everything is.
And that's also higher than your current insight. So I think I think before any of the kids you run into say anything, you push them, Danny and Ethan, down another street and give those kids who were like raising their hand like such a pointed stare. They like stop in mid-sentence, whatever they were going to say. And then you hear a yell from Ethan, who goes, "Mom!" And you like whip around, and you're like, and he's like already running down the street. We'll get back to this in a moment.
Of course we will, Matthias. Yeah.
Yeah, as the sun is as the sun outside is setting.
Can I put in motion though that Penny is running after Ethan? Like,
oh yeah,
like,
of course.
Like,
I was assuming
like,
that.
yank Danny.
Oh, you're not just letting him go free.
Like, well, I mean, Katie probably would have, but Penny, he like, I know at one time when I was young, my mom like yanked me so hard I thought she yanked my arm out of my socket. So she's probably pulled that with Danny and is just running after Ethan.
So back at the police station, I think both, like Garrett and Gulliver, you're both been sitting in like a waiting area. Then you're like been asked to come in. You get a couple of questions. Then you're told, please stay a little while longer. Coffee machine over there, and you get free coffee, right? So you've been hanging out at the police station, but you're not like interviewed once. You've been interviewed repeatedly, and you're still hanging out. And you can see it's getting dark outside, and neither of you, like whatever beer bottle you snatched before going to the police station has been long emptied, and the coffee has sent you like 3 times because there's nothing else to do here than like drink coffee and go pee between waiting, and you're not allowed to leave yet. What are you two doing? What's this like? Maybe this is like you've both gone through 2 rounds now, and one of you is coming back out of some interview room.
I think that Gulliver is reading through, I think he like managed to find a magazine. I don't know if it was like out, but like probably behind like there's like a front desk. He managed to snag it. Like maybe one of the people who does like booking and that kind of thing had a magazine. And so he has that, and he's just kind of flipping through it, checking his phone. Like over time, he's slowly checking it more and more and more, just because it's like he's getting impatient, right? Like they've been here all day. Why isn't this like? Don't they have enough? They haven't asked him anything new, so he's getting like probably pretty visibly impatient. But at the same time, like he wants to tell them whatever he can to help them find whoever did this, even though there's not much that he really thinks he can offer up. But yeah, he's just chilling.
Have you been telling them that you knew the victim?
Yeah, I think that like there was a part of him that definitely hesitated on that, of being like, yeah, we had like a one night stand. But he would have told them, because them finding out not from him is going to look way worse than if he's just coming forward with that information. Like he didn't even know her last name, right? So he's very forthcoming with pretty much everything that he knows.
Yeah. Do you two talk about what, like, you know each other, right?
Yeah. So Garrett would not be talking to anyone. Garrett is sitting on a chair, like bouncing his legs just constantly, but like without even realizing he's doing it, and just kind of like staring at a wall or into his coffee cup. But he's not talking to anyone, and he's not saying anything. And I don't know that he even really like comprehends that he's there or how long he's been there. He is just gone right now. It's like he flashed back to the day that he found out, and he's living in that moment, like reliving it. So he's just dead inside.
I think the bouncing the leg thing would like slowly, because it's been hours now, and like obviously we're all nervous to be here, but I think like that would be slowly grinding on Gulliver's nerves.
I can see where
You
he
want
just
to
keeps
like
doing it.
how badly? Like just annoying you, or actually like because
Yeah.
there's like missing sensory input from anything else other than this police magazine that's probably full of propaganda that you do not actually subscribe to. I guess I don't know.
Technically, I work for the law.
Yeah.
Not that
So
kind of law, though.
Yes, bounty hunters work for police, but they don't in Canada. I read, but they do in this Canada, in this fictional Canada.
On Canada Day, they do.
On Canada Day, they do.
because you can roll your inside die.
What you guys don't know is that on Canada Day, everything is legal.
That's why she was murdered.
That's why Chloe,
moments after Canada Day came to be.
If they don't, they have to hold the murderer here until tomorrow, because that's when they can convict.
Right. I mean, that's basically where the U.S. got the idea for the purge. Obviously.
I don't think it's enough that it's. I think it's just annoying more than anything, because I think that out of everyone here, Gulliver feels most relaxed at a police station. I mean, he is constantly like delivering people to the police. So I think that this isn't the first time he's been in a situation like this where he's had to wait around because somebody's incompetent and he has like to pay the price. Yeah. It's just the first time that he's been on like a more civilian side of it and isn't like kind of in the back, like where they keep the good stuff. Like he can probably still drink. Like I'm sure somebody has whiskey back there. They're just not sharing with us. And I think that maybe it's like right after I mean,
might have contacts at this police station or not.
Well, it's hard to say. He probably knows them, but he doesn't do any work in the city for either job because he wants to keep his personal life personal and he doesn't want people to know what he does. So he probably knows them, but whether or not they know, I feel like they would probably, if anybody would know, it'd be the police here. But even that's up in the air. Maybe that detective. But I feel like it's after Garrett has gotten back and maybe has been sitting there and was like sitting for a moment and then starts the leg tapping again, the leg bounce. He kind of looks up from the magazine. He's like, "Hey man, you okay?"
Hold on, I'm trying to. How do you do it? I'm trying to roll.
The dash goes first.
Oh no!
The dash goes before the R.
I think because I think it was about time for Garrett to have a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah,
see how he's really feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's feeling very good.
Okay.
What? 6 for my inside die.
What is setting you off here?
The second that Gulliver said something to him, it kind of snapped him a little bit, right? Snapped him too. And then like he'd been in this little walled off area in his brain where he didn't have to see or hear or think anything. And then the second someone like spoke to him, it was like all rushed back at the same time. Like, oh my God, I'm in a police station, dead body, Chloe, and blah, blah, blah. You know, he's just like, it's like that one gif of the person with all the math numbers flying at their head, but it's like pictures of dead people.
Yikes.
Yeah, and what does this? So first, like your inside is now at 3 already.
Okay.
Right.
Wait,
because you rolled your inside die and the inside is higher than your current inside value, which was at 2.
Oh, okay. It went up by 1. Okay.
Yeah, from before, right? Yeah.
Sure.
So
Is it
it's at
starting?
3 now. If it's ever reaches 6, your character becomes unplayable, basically.
Does it start at 2?
It starts at 1.
You rolled one down by the lake, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I rolled a insight with the other one, and the insight one was lower than the other one. It was like a 4 and a 2.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, so it's at 2 now.
Okay.
And I was mistaken. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
For catching that.
I was like, wait.
No. Yeah. Okay, so you're breaking down at this moment?
Yeah, it's just like I had somehow blocked everything off and been just like a cool wall of calm waters, and now it's just like the second he said something to me, I almost can't deal with it.
Are you like crying? Like, what does this look like to Gulliver?
Yeah, no, I would imagine that I look over with a look of like I'm terrified all of a sudden. I look at you just eyes wide and I start shaking, and you can see it like my whole body just starts shaking. And like how terrified a dog gets in a thunderstorm sometimes, like that's what I look like, a terrified dog in a thunderstorm. And my coffee is like sloshing out of the cup a little bit, and I just look at you and I don't say anything, but I look like I'm about to have a heart attack.
Yeah, I think he's just like, oh fuck, and he goes over to you and takes the coffee away from you, and then he'll go and like put it on the like little counter thing. He's gonna go back because I'm sure they have trauma kits and find like a shock blanket, because that's like that's what he's thinking is happening.
Yeah.
Like you're going into shock.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Because I think at this point he would have found out that you had also seen the body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
yeah.
I think like as you wrap this blanket around him, he's still got his arm up, like he still has the coffee.
I think this is definitely like a role, though.
For me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gulliver treating you.
Yeah.
Seeing how well that goes.
I would say that I have 1 for a normal person, but also 2 for probably having dealt with people in shock before.
No.
I don't know, because
if I couldn't have it, she can't have it.
Excuse me, because I deal with women in shock of their exes getting married all the time.
Not seen dead bodies.
But comforting people.
I'm Matthias, if you give it to her, I'm quitting this game.
It's literally part of my job is to comfort sobbing, hysterical women.
I'm not a hysterical woman.
But you're, I mean, close.
That's enough.
Let me do it.
No.
Thank you.
Unless you show us in fiction how that's actually very much the same.
How it's the same?
Yeah.
I mean, those women's exes are getting married. They're not dead.
That is true. But I would say that on his end, what he's doing is very much the same. Like potentially like sitting down beside you and like obviously wrapping this blanket around you and then just kind of putting an arm around you.
Well, what you're doing might be the same, but like the efficacy of it would not be the same.
I guess we would see with the dice, wouldn't we?
Don't give it to her. Don't do it.
No.
Fine.
Vindication.
Here I go.
Do it, but only if she gets a 6.
A 1. I'd barely do it.
Okay, so on a 1.
I can re-roll though.
Well, you can add your insight die and roll that, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that.
So just roll another.
My insight die is higher.
Yep. It is. So you need to roll a just
Insight?
1d6, yes.
Okay.
Against your insight.
Okay. It's actually the same, so it doesn't go up.
Yep. So then everything is fine. Yeah, you do it adequately. Like Garrett doesn't calm down immediately, but
I'm not gonna have a heart attack.
yeah, it takes a while and it takes attention, and maybe probably get him some water. Been probably drinking way too much coffee.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine that Gulliver has like a flask hidden in his boot or something like that and gives a little shot to Garrett. Calm him
Yeah,
down.
if that would calm you down. I'd
Yep.
probably take a shot too.
Garrett is definitely like muttering though, and he's looking at you like you would understand, but you definitely don't really understand what he's talking about, because I don't think you would know about his wife and everything. So he's just like, I thought it was her. I thought it was her, but she was gone. But I could have sworn I lost her all over. You know, he's just muttering like,
Gulliver's just like nodding, like, yeah.
Yeah, she was almost gone. It's fine though.
Yeah, but he'll stay until you seem like you've got it like semi together, but then he's gonna get up and go find the detective or whoever's been interviewing them and be like, we need to go. Like, this is obviously taking a toll.
Yeah, I think this is also though when you hear like, okay, Garrett is fine, you want to get up and talk to the detective. That's when you hear the release locks from the like kind of the other side of the counter, like not behind it, but the other side. And you see Jonah emerge with like being handed some papers. You can immediately tell, oh, he's getting released.
Would not know that this is that person's husband. Just saying, don't know that.
No, but you recognize that Jonah was being held.
Yeah.
Not like a witness would have been. So yeah, I think you Jonah, you look up and you definitely see Garrett wrapped in a blanket on a chair, and Gulliver standing there, and your eyes meet. What do you do? Either one of you three.
Is there a police officer coming out behind Jonah?
Yeah, there's like someone handing like
Yeah.
piece of paper to Jonah.
Does this mean that we're all free to go?
Yeah, for now. We've got your contact information. I think we got everything.
Yeah. All right. And he'll go over to Garrett. Be like, are you okay? Can you get up? We can go.
Go? Okay. Where do we go?
I don't know where you go. Probably home.
Home.
I can call you a cab. He has a cell phone. We'll fucking call a cab.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not coming with me. Not to my house. It's my safe spot.
Gave you a fucking blanket.
I gave you a blanket. What fucking more could you want? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, as you get your phone out to call, he'll be like, no, it's fine. I can get where I need to be. Thank you for the blanket.
You're welcome.
He walks away, like before you say anything else.
Bye. Goodbye, new friend.
Yeah, and I think Jonah just kind of in a daze walks through whatever they're doing and out, because he's got to go pick up his car and figure out where his kids are, and he, other than his wife's dead, he hasn't really been told what's going on. He doesn't know what to do. But he's got to walk back down to Main Street and pick up the Jeep, figure out where the kids are.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide if Gulliver wants to get involved because he could potentially try and stay and like ask somebody about something and like flash the badge or whatever they gave him. But I think he just puts that on hold for now and heads out, specifically watching after Garrett to make sure that he's actually headed in like a direction that seems like it's towards town and not just like off into the night.
He's going towards town, but he's
Okay.
not going home. But you don't know that.
Yeah. Well, me either yet. It's party time. Canada Day is not over.
So you're so all three of you are basically splitting up. Like Garrett is just like,
Why would we make it easy for you?
no, like that's you can split up all you like. I don't mind at all. I'm just making
Always.
sure that I understand the situation.
Yeah, I am going back to the bar, to the spider web.
Yeah. Let's cut back to Penny. You're chasing after Ethan.
Good luck.
And Ethan's
You don't have to be
running.
excited about this, Summer.
You were actively rooting against me when I was trying to argue for a second.
You did it first.
I hope the kid runs into the lake.
It's not even my kid.
Swim. You can swim. Go get him.
Sorry, Matthias.
Quick question, Jonah. What color hair did Chloe have?
Did we say blonde?
Yeah, I think you said blonde in the first episode, Matthias.
I did?
I think
So.
Okay. Yeah.
Just call it dirty blonde, and just
Yeah.
depends on the light how it hits her.
Yeah. Ethan is running after a red-headed woman. Penny?
Have I like caught up to him any? I mean, he's got little legs. He can't get that far.
Yeah, and he's calling out, and as you like catch up with him, she turns around, and she like walked up to a car and then turns around because he was calling out, and she looks at you, and I mean, she looks like Chloe. Like you're taking aback for a moment. And what did you roll on your?
Not
You
good.
no, not good. And so I think you're taken aback for a moment, and she looks straight at you, tilts her head, and says, "Not now, Penny. Not now. Gotta meet later." And gets into the car and drives off.
Hey, Matthias. Matthias, what the fuck?
And Ethan is like, "Oh, I thought that was Mom." But
Penny is like walking up. I think she's like stopped a good distance behind Ethan because this has taken her aback as well. It's given her a definite pause.
yeah.
And she's watched this woman get into the car and drive off and heard Ethan speak, and she takes a step forward, tries to shake it off, and steps forward to Ethan and just goes, "Did you didn't know who that was? You thought that was your mother?"
Yeah, but she wasn't.
I guess not. She looks over at Danny. Do you know that woman?
I don't know. No, I didn't see her. I mean, she was. Did she had red hair though? So. What? Are you okay, Ethan? You know, Mom's at the conference, right? She had to go work this weekend. And she's like saying this to Ethan, and he's like, "Yeah, okay. I just thought, I don't know." And I think this is when you take control and get them home, right?
Yeah, she wrangles them both up. It's like, let's get you both back to my house. We'll put on a movie or something till your dad gets home. And like, I think in the walk there, she's called the station, left a note for Jonah, that kind of thing. You know, she's covered all her bases.
Yeah.
Because she has no idea how long Jonah will be at the station.
And I think it'll be still like 2 hours or something. While you make them something to eat. I don't know what mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
It's like and probably not good because she doesn't keep groceries in her house, so it's like stale Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah. So when I think when you're sitting down and they're like eating that and they're busy with that, that's when you get the call from Jonah. And Jonah, like, the police gave you that note.
Yeah, she stepped out the minute she sees Jonah's name on the phone. Like, she stepped out on the front porch and closed the door behind her. Like, left the kids watching a movie or something while they're eating dinner.
So wait. So Penny called the police station to leave the note for Jonah?
Yeah, she left a note with like I would imagine the dispatcher or something that's where his kids were taken care of with her.
Okay.
She was chasing after and saw this person simultaneously while you were at the station.
That does not mean they shared that with him, though.
I think on release they gave you that note. Because I think that's a thing Jonah would have asked. Like, that's probably the only thing Jonah has.
If someone had any information about his kids, I mean, I feel like Jonah would ask that too.
Where are my kids, right?
Where are my children?
Before you leave the station, yeah.
No, that's fair. I was just making sure I understood.
No.
So Jonah then probably on his walk to the car would call Penny.
Yeah, and the minute she sees your name, she steps outside, just tells the kids, she'll be right back. Because she doesn't want to tell them that it's their dad yet, because she doesn't know what kind of information she's going to get from him.
Before, wait a second, before we have that conversation. Gulliver, you're headed to the bar, back to the bar, right?
Yep.
And Garrett, where you're off to? Do you know? Or are you just wandering the street?
I mean, it was pretty obvious. Garrett's going to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Are you still wearing the blanket?
Yeah.
Shiny, reflective.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think let's go for a break here. We're almost at the top of the hour, and when we come back, we'll play out what that conversation between you two on the phone.
Awesome. Yeah, we will be right back, everyone. Hey everyone, we're back. Levi, I'd like to say yes, this music is very good, but it's unnerving because there's fucking people whispering in it. It's weird. Anyway, Matthias.
It's the summer of spooks.
It really is, and you know, because the fucking crickets decided to copyright claim me, I guess, I had to get rid of the nature sounds. So now you get people whispering and over cello sounds. So
those damn crickets are very possessive of the music that they make.
They work their legs really hard. You know, I should pay them.
This is why you got to work with cicadas, because once they're done, they die. So.
This is what the break is actually for.
I'm sorry. Bold of you to assume we would ever stay on topic.
Because it's not my scene. You're out on your porch, stepped out when you saw that Jonah's on the phone. So I guess you're the one picking up, Penny?
Yeah, she picks up and instantly just is like, Jonah, are you all right? What the hell is going on?
They let me out. I'm Chloe's dead apparently. They said you had the kids.
Yeah, they're all right. They're watching a movie. They ate some macaroni and cheese.
I have to go get the car. It'll be probably 30 minutes, maybe more.
Yeah. Take your time. They're fine here. Jonah, I don't want to ask this. You didn't do anything, right?
What? No, you.
They've
First, if I know you're Chloe's friend, but come on, you know me a little better than that, I thought. Plus, I had the kids all weekend.
Jonah, I'm more your friend than I was Chloe's. And look, everyone was acting. It was a really big scene. It's really uncomfortable. And the kids don't know what's going on, and I don't really know what to do or what to tell them. And something happened while I had them.
I think actually that Jonah doesn't hear part of what you're saying, because when Penny's like, it was a really big scene and it was really awkward for everyone, I think stuff starts hitting Jonah finally, and he's just like, really, Penny? Really? It was a big scene. It was awkward for everyone. They took me to jail. They think I killed my wife. How do you think I feel about this? And he just gets angry.
That's fair. Look, Jonah, I'm sorry. I'm on your side here. I just... Look, I'll be here when you get here with the kids. Something happened. I need to talk to you.
I think he sounds a little short, but he's trying not to like just ruin Penny's day any more than everyone's day has already been ruined. But he's just he just ends the call with 30 minutes and then hangs up.
Yeah, when he hangs up, she walks back in, and she like leaves the door open, so it's just the screen door closed, so like she can see when Jonah pulls up, and just looks at both the kids and is like, "Your dad's on his way."
Yeah, and I think this is where I want to cut over to Garrett. So you've been walking over to the cemetery.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I think they forgot to, like, sometimes they just forget to properly lock the gates to the cemetery.
Oh yeah, he knows how to get. There's like a small rear entrance where like the maintenance guy comes in and out of, the one that like comes to clean up, you know, in the late evenings and things like that. And so he has learned that if you put your arm through the other side of the wall, like in just the right spot where there happens to be a little hole, you can reach inside and turn the handle. So he's figured out how to get in there, and he frequents there in the late evenings and nights.
How often? Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, how often in the week do you come here?
I mean, like, normally he's there at least 3 times a week, like during the day, and then probably at least once a week, like way after hours, like middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
He's messed up.
And where in the cemetery is her grave?
So it's along the back wall, like not the the janitor's thing is along the very back wall. So his is like, or theirs is back wall, front wall, and then theirs would be along this side, like closest. This west side is, I suppose, what that would be. But like not near the street. So the side opposite of the street, whatever side it is.
Yeah. And I think it's a fairly old cemetery. Like
Yes.
they have like actually like nice trees that are
Yes.
growing here.
Lots of old trees, and there's a whole section where they have still the like tall statue type gravestones and stuff, and that's actually where they got their plots. Because there's an old section where his family has like a plot, and so there's a bunch of old ones that were his family, and so he got them like a nice angel statue thing in their little burial plot where the rest of his family's buried.
What's
too.
that? What's that angel look like?
Ooh, I mean, do you watch Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Weeping Angels? Like,
Yes.
it looks nice and innocent, and then it gets real creepy when you turn around. No, yeah. So it's one of those that's just kind of like standing there, with its hands like this or whatever. It's got wings, but they're not like out or anything. They're just kind of folded nicely behind it, and it's wearing like a long gown, and it's gray. It's like a very light white gray, almost like a close to marble, but they're not that rich. So so it is, but it's just standing there like.
Is there like a bench nearby, or do you stand in front?
No, there's a bench. There's a bench at the so technically it's a bench in front of like that whole plot. But it just so happens that the area where they were to be buried and where his wife is now buried, as part of that plot, is pretty close to the bench. So the bench is like here, and then the plot is like maybe 5 feet that catty corner to it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. And so you often sit down on that one side of the bench. That's makes you almost be facing your grave or her grave. Was this like to have gotten this kind of plot? So this was a topic from a few years ago between the two of you.
Yeah, so his family has lived in that town like since its creation, essentially. So they have had a large plot or section of the graveyard for a long time because their family's just been around forever. And it's one of those things where like it's kind of creepy, but the parents will buy plots for the kids so that they know they've always got a place next to them and stuff. And so as soon as they got married, his parents bought them. He already had one, but they had kind of like saved a spot or whatever in hopes that someday he'd get married. So as soon as they got married, they went ahead and like reserved the spot next to him for her. So he and she talked about that before, and she was one of the type that didn't really care like where her body ended up or whatever. So she was like, that's fine, we can be there.
Do you have a picture of her that you pull out and look at, or what?
Oh yeah. He has like a little it feels so old school, but like a little one of those small wallet size photos. And he's got 1,000 photos on his phone and stuff, but for some reason that doesn't feel connected to her. So he did have this one little pocket size photo, but it was a photo of them together in college. So it wasn't a recent photo. It was one from the first year of dating.
You're both on that photo.
Yep.
What did Jesse look like?
Jesse was kind of tall. Like he's 6'2" probably, and she's tall for a girl, so she's closer to like 5'10". And she's like average size, whatever. They hated going to the gym, so they that wasn't really a thing that they did. But they ate well and stuff, took care of themselves. So they she was just like average size, and she had go ahead. What?
Finish your sentence.
I was just gonna say she had like kind of mousy brown hair and looked kind of like librarian type, a little bit nerdy, you know what I mean? And she wore cute little glasses that like she hated but he loved.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, what's the thing that you always found just so irresistible about her that this photo still reminds you of every time you look at it?
Oh, so she would like roll out of bed and throw her hair up in a bun and start doing chores and stuff like that. And she'd have her glasses on, like she wouldn't have her contacts on or anything like that. And like he just thought she was so beautiful like that. When like before she did anything during the day to try to like, you know, fix herself up or make herself presentable for the world, she'd just throw her hair up in a bun. And this picture happened to be the two of them like right after I want to say not right after like their first date or anything like that, but maybe like right after their first trip together, or while they were on their first trip together, and they were like out on a boat, and it was vacation, so she hadn't like done her hair or anything like that, and she just thrown it up, and it was that perfect look, and it had like the water behind them, and it was selfie or whatever, and so it was the water was behind them and the sun was glistening, and it was just like a wonderful memory of her like in her purest form and like them in their happiest form.
Like you looking at the photo, it's like we're losing light quickly now, or it's almost not discernible, but you know what the photo looks like, so that's enough. Whoops. I just wanted to cut to Summer.
Well,
how dare she?
Oh no.
Well, that hoe.
She was like, nah, man. I got to think about some things.
Her power went out.
Oh no.
Well, then
Gulliver's taking a nap.
Yeah, I can get the cam set back up, and
yeah, then we'll stay a little bit on this scene still. So you're looking at the photo, and they can still hear us. We can continue playing.
Yeah, she's coming back, so you guys can suffer with weird cams for a second.
Yeah.
I'm in the right place, I think.
Yeah, Birdie's great. Birdie, you got this.
All right.
Yeah. Best
role player confirmed.
This is how this is going to work. Yeah. So as you're looking like on the picture, which is like way too dark now, maybe we actually get to see what you just described in that detail, right? And as you're looking at it, you do not like immediately, because it doesn't reach you right away, or it's just delayed, but you actually hear someone giggling and yelling and saying, "What, Jesse, you're ridiculous, what are you doing?" And then there's like this this thump and crack, and something or someone landed like right on your grave, and it's like taking off in the night, and like behind your grave, like someone else jumps down from the wall, that's the perimeter here, and like runs after them, like half giggling and yelling, "Jesse, wait up!"
Can I?
And you're like staring at this like destroyed flowers on the grave of your wife, and that's why I want to cut.
Oh, okay. I had so many questions.
Yeah, Gulliver.
Oh fuck. Hi.
Right when I wanted to cut to you, your power goes out.
Sorry.
I talked about Wes too much. I made him too powerful.
Yeah.
That was a pretty solid, solidly quick reboot, though. Good job.
Yeah. The only problem is my internet's being really weird now because obviously our router restarted too, so it's not letting me join the Roll20 anymore. Hi, but I'm back.
That's fine. If you got a D6 there with you.
Yeah, I do.
Sure. So are you like back? You're back at Sophie's and you're drinking your listening around, right?
Yeah.
Did you get Sophie to pull out the police radio to listen in on that too?
No, I'm not that nosy.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been the one. If somebody else wanted to listen in, then I would have highly been like, oh, I will also listen when they're listening, but I'm not going to be the one that's like, I want to listen to the police scanner. So, yeah. Just chilling at the bar, listening for anything that sounds particularly like fishy or theories, different theories, no matter how far-fetched, because people love to gossip, especially when they're drunk. Because when people are drunk, there's a little bit of truth in everything they say. So somebody might say something that's totally like off the wall, but there's part of it that they heard somewhere or something like that. That's what I'm doing. I'd be more than happy to roll for this because this is in my wheelhouse of skills.
Yeah, this is.
I won't fight this one.
It's an investigation room.
I will fight.
This is something that I
will
do.
fight you rolling that real D6 though.
I got two little bad boys right here.
I mean, Katie, if you have a good idea how this might go wrong,
I'm kidding.
Then you can always offer that. Otherwise,
no, yeah. I'm just fucking with Summer.
I'm here for failure consequences. Fuck me up, fam.
But yeah, within human capabilities, and I think within your profession.
Okay. Jingle, jingle, jingle. I got a 5 and a 6. Isn't that so fun? I'm so good at my job.
Yeah, I have an idea, but I think you catch you catch a couple of people talking, or you can get them talking, and one of them is like, yeah, I think that's her, and like points to a piece of paper they have, and it's like it's a page ripped out of what, like some kind of cheap magazine or something.
Yeah.
And like you finagle your way into that conversation and get a look at it. And it's a it's a photo of Chloe, and it's an ad from a it's an ad from a local porn magazine. Let's be honest. As you're asking, like, can I like have a look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Chloe, but it's Chloe with red hair.
Gotcha. Okay, here's something. So obviously I've seen Chloe intimately. Is
Yeah.
like is everything the same except for the red hair? Like they can share a face, but do they share everything?
Yeah, I think actually uncannily so. Because I think you go to your phone and you actually like there's an online version of the site as well for
Yeah.
that thing. And you start looking her up and like what's a that's she's like you in the ad it's an obvious fake name that she's using,
Yeah.
but you can recognize that. Look it up on the internet, and there you get more pictures.
Yeah.
And yeah, she has on one of her half nude pictures, like it's the same birthmark on the left side of her left breast, so you recognize that.
Yeah. I think he takes it. Like just I guess if he has the online version, he doesn't need to take the physical copy. They can keep that.
Yeah. And I think the thing that the thing that shakes you here,
Yeah.
right, that makes you have to roll for insight, is like the most recent ad is she's looking for someone to go on a date for that wedding that's planned, the next wedding that's planned that you already have like on your docket for next weekend.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll roll. That's a 2. So I'm still good. And yeah, I think he turns back to the people that were having the conversation. He's like, "Is this new? Did anyone know about this?"
I mean, honestly, I wanted to try it one time, and we just went out for dinner. It's like just the guy like turns bright red.
Yeah. What does it say her name is in this?
I think it says it says Anne Katrin. So playing into.
I hate it, Matthias. I hate it. I want you to know I hate it. Just wanted you to know.
I'm calling that number.
Oh yeah, you are. But first, I want to see Jonah. You're arriving at Penny's place.
Oh boy, am I. So Jonah has, in the 30 minutes it took to get his car and drive over to Penny's, gotten fucking smashed because he doesn't know how to handle anything that's going on right now. He shows up at Penny's house drunk as fuck.
You're pulling in like into the driveway, and
yeah,
the minute,
because this is the theme of this episode, hitting a potted plant. With your car.
The minute she sees the light, she just like looks at the kids, and they're probably like excited that they know this is their dad. She's just like, wait here for a second, I am gonna talk to your dad. And she's like putting herself out front first because she wants to talk to Jonah about what happened before, you know, the kids get involved anyway. So she's like waiting on the front porch and seeing him hit this potted plant. In her mind, she's thinking he's just still like angry because he sort of blew up at her on the phone.
Yeah, it's obvious, I think, when he gets out of the car, how like his body language and how much he struggles even to get out of the car. It's obvious to Penny that he's wrecked.
Yeah, she just the minute she sees that and makes that connection, she walks she looks over her shoulder, makes sure the kids are still, you know, watching TV, and walks down the front porch stairs with like her hands out and goes, Jonah, what the fuck? Did you drove here like that?
Penny, I don't know. What is going on? They think I killed my wife. She's dead. They found her body. I don't know what to do, Penny.
You think getting fucking wasted and coming here to pick up your children is going to make the situation any better?
I had to do something. I had to do something to numb the pain. What you and you can see like his hands shaking as he's trying to get these words out, and it's slurring a little. I just you said you needed to talk to me.
I can't talk to you in this state, Jonah. It's not gonna. Do you want your kids to see you like this? Have they seen you like this?
I don't think so.
Look, I'm gonna get you in bed. I'm just gonna tell them you're sick, okay? You just sleep it off.
There's that long moment of him trying to like think through the booze.
Don't you fucking do this again.
I think he starts to cry, and he's saying I'm sorry, but he's not necessarily apologizing to Penny.
Come on, just come inside. She's gonna help him get inside. And I think she's gonna like put herself between Jonah and the direction of the kids so she can shield them as much as she you know, she doesn't want them to see him like this. And try to get him like back into her bedroom to put him to bed for the night, and then she's going to go and pull out the sofa for the kids.
Yeah, I think he's too wrapped up in his own thoughts now that he just lets her do that.
Yeah. I want to cut back to the graveyard. So someone just jumped from the perimeter wall down onto your wife's grave, broke that potted plant that you were keeping in pristine condition, right? You're taking care of this.
These plotted plants are everywhere, man.
Yeah. And didn't seem to notice you at all because you're sitting there in the dark staring at a picture motionless.
Right, I'm not weird. You're weird.
No, yeah, and they ran off further down into the cemetery, only to be followed by someone else jumping from the wall as well, and following them and calling them Jesse.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Could I gauge size? Are they little children running around, or are they big human-sized people? Adult-sized humans.
Adult-sized humans, pretty lean, fit. Like, it's not like they didn't fall. They purposely jumped, and yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm pissed. If it's just little children running away, I would be like, "Arr." But I'm annoyed. So I'm going to yell and say, what the fuck, dude? Have some respect. And then see if they say anything back.
Oh, they vanished into the dark, and there's no immediate answer. Are you stomping after them?
I'm gonna take off after them.
Yeah.
I've had a very bad day. And like there's nothing else. It's almost like, okay, now I have something to focus on, right? So like I can put all that emotion and frustration and anger or something like at something. So he snaps and just like he's planning to beat them into a pulp if he can catch them. Because they just not defamed. Is that defamed? Defaced. That's it. Defaced her grave.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's you catching them and cornering them, confronting them is something that's within human capabilities. So that's one die, but I'm going to offer a failure thing here.
Oh,
and I think it's like without paying any mind to it, running into the dark of this old cemetery, there might be a chance that
I fall into a grave and break my leg, and then I'm never heard from again.
yeah, no, actually, that you like trip or run like headlong into a branch of a tree as you're following them.
Okay, so I roll and then you roll against me, essentially, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I got a 2. Wait, do I have to roll my insight with that? I forget.
No,
I don't have
only
to.
if you wanted to.
Ooh,
I roll a 1, so you still just get a 2. A 2 is you definitely do what you set out to do, but on a 2, what was it? I want to have the actual wording. On a 2, you do it, although not well. And I think it's it's like you duck underneath the branch, but I definitely feel like as you get closer to them, like they run through a bush, and you get like the whiplash of branches, which just makes you more angry, right?
It does.
And you're yelling after them, and one of them is like, "Oh fuck, Jesse, there's someone after us."
Do I catch him?
And yeah, I think you when you corner them, you there's like this there's like this middle section in the cemetery that is actually like it has these pillars and stone roof actually. And that's where you corner them, where they're like oh fuck, that's a crazy person, he's gonna kill us, kill us.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Oh, fuck is right. What do you think you're doing? You just stepped over so many graves. That is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm just yelling at them.
Don't you dare come any closer. And you hear the the crackling of a like a pocket taser and the blue light of it. And in the blue light of it, you can see, I don't know, this is like some college kids who like snuck into the cemetery.
And I don't. Is it a guy and a girl? Two guys?
It's 2 girls actually.
2 girls.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't recognize them or anything, I would assume.
No, I think you would recognize them, right?
I would.
I mean,
do I know why I recognize them or where I recognize them from? Do I need to do a roll on that?
No, because in elementary school they were in your class.
Okay, that's yeah, but I mean, I can recall that, like, well, because people grow up and their faces change and stuff like that, so I can recognize them from back then, and so I'm like, I'm looking and I see their faces, and it kind of clicks in, and I'm like, son of a bitch, Jesse. I don't remember your name. But
Mr. Harp? What?
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what you're doing in here this late at night, but you're not supposed to be in here, and it's incredibly disrespectful. And I know your parents, so I suggest you get out of here real quick, because I'm going to call them and have a conversation with them otherwise. And I don't think they're going to like the fact that you're spending time when you should be at home studying for finals in a graveyard, running around stepping on people's graves. I'm being such an old man. Like, get off my lawn right
now. Mr. Harp, you're not supposed to be here either. This is after opening hours.
I am a grown-ass adult, and you don't get to tell me what to do.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
And I think she pulls like a ready rolled blunt out of a pocket and lights it in front of you.
And I stop and I look and I go, listen, you need to leave. And I might not tell your parents you were here.
And you, Mr. Harp, shh, you need to calm down. And she holds the blunt out to you, offering it.
I might need to calm down.
And this is where I cut back over. Yeah, hello.
Hi. My name is Gulliver Day. I'm a bail enforcer for CPF, and I'm looking for someone
you
named.
Must have the wrong number.
I'm sorry. Who am I speaking to?
I'm sorry. You're what? Bail and no, I'm sorry. I don't. You have.
I'm looking for someone. Will you speak to me?
She hangs up.
I'll call back from the bar phone.
Yeah, hello?
Hi. Who is this?
Ann-Kathrin. Who are you?
What would my fake name be? Because I definitely have one. Someone help me think of a good one. I want it to be a G name.
Garrett Castle.
Just combine a bunch of names. My name is Gavin.
Oh, well, hello, Gavin. What can I do for you?
Well, I saw that you were looking to go to a wedding.
Indeed.
Well, I love weddings.
Sorry, that. I guess. Well, that ad is kind of old.
Really? Because it looked like the wedding was this coming weekend.
Yeah, it is. I've got a date already, though. Would you mind? We can make something for some other time if you like.
Well, I'm free tonight.
Tonight.
Is that too short notice?
Yeah, with the holiday. I actually gotta. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do it tonight. You already know that the weekend is taken up. Any other time?
Listen, you just tell me when you're free.
So I could do next Tuesday.
Yeah.
If during the week is fine. Okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Just out for dinner for starters?
Yeah, we can start with dinner if you want.
Oh. It's more like, what would you prefer? Gavin, you said Gavin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Gavin, I've got you circled in for dinner Tuesday night.
All right. I will get in contact with you before then.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, he'll hang up.
Happy Canada Day.
Fucking. Well, good news is I am going to that wedding. Anyway. Dang. Busy with what? That's interesting. Is there a business location?
Roll an investigation. You I wanna
Do I get my extra die for this?
you're scoping out a target, yeah.
Yeah. I got a 4 is my higher die.
I think you heard something in the background, and I think what you were hearing was someone was yeah, this is it. It was very someone was watching a some kind of, what kind of sport would be on
Canada Day?
On Canada Day, but is a US sport.
Hockey. Can't. There's always hockey on it.
But it's a US sport, like
Yeah,
baseball.
They're going to be watching any form of hockey they can find anywhere.
It's on a Monday though. What kind of sport is on in the US on Mondays?
Baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball?
Yeah, it probably only be baseball, really.
Yeah. So I think you could recognize someone was watching baseball in the background and opening a can of.
But it sounded like watching it on TV, right? Not.
Yeah, watching it on TV, and so there was another person there, who you maybe even heard grunting in the background.
Love it. Okay, so
Like that kind of grandpa-y grunt as they're opening another beer as they're watching a game. That
Thanks
kind
for
of grunt.
specifying the
Okay.
type of grunt
Yeah,
there,
I'm really
Matthias.
glad you specified.
Because
If
Katie
she's
was making
boning-
faces.
Well, if she's boning while she's on the phone with me and sounds so chill, I'm gonna be a little bit impressed.
Matthias, I always make
And watching
faces.
baseball.
Can I roll to in my noggin to scan my incredible knowledge of the town to see if there's anybody that really likes baseball that lives here? Because that's pretty weird. What are you doing watching baseball instead of out celebrating Canada Day?
That might have been it on a 5 or a 6.
Okay. Yeah. Dang, I really want to know what Grandpa's watching baseball because then I can track him down. That's fine. Who loves baseball? I'm writing all this down.
Question. For Jonah, are you actually sleeping through the night? And Penny, or how's this?
Well, like,
going?
after she put Jonah in her room, she was going to go back out and just like look at the kids and be like, your dad's just not feeling well. He had a long day. And try to smooth that over and help them pull out, like, explain that they were going to stay the night at her house and pull the couch out and like lower the TV and just let them sort of chill. Let them fall asleep on their own. And I think once they were asleep, she was going to just poke her head back in there and check on Jonah.
I think he's passed out and you can hear him snoring really loudly.
Yeah, she would leave a glass of water on her nightstand. And like with a couple of, Advil or Tylenol, Advil, something. Cuz this isn't this isn't her. She knows how you're going to feel in the morning. And then she's going to go to her kitchen and open up the one of the cabinets, move aside a couple of empty bottles she just hasn't thrown away, and I think grab out a bottle, like a big bottle of vodka and a little tumbler, and I think she's gonna go sit out on her front porch, and just sort of drink until she either gets drunk or too sleepy to keep her eyes open.
Or until you see a hottie walking home. Just saying.
Thanks, one already drove up.
Well, you destroyed my
but
potted
you
plant, so
destroyed
that
her
relationship is
plant.
ruined.
Also, you got really aggressive.
Emotions are hard.
Especially when you're drunk and suspected of murder. Yeah, I think it's just like this quiet moment, where she's like sitting in the rocking chair out on her front porch with her feet up, like in the chair tucked under her, and she's just slowly drinking and very, very introspective, watching the lake.
Yeah. And I think this is when you
Can I interject?
What do you want to say?
I think that at this point, you would see Garrett like walking along the lakeside, right? Like just walking along the path in front of your house, just kind of moseying along and like brushing his hand across the tops of some like tall grass and stuff. And just being.
I think it definitely just like breaks her focus for a moment, enough for her to like keep her eyes on him to make sure he is like not going to walk out into the middle of the lake himself.
And he's like, how many fucking children do I have to take care of today?
Or fall over or something. But like I think if she can tell that he's okay,
Oh, he's good.
And he's great. Then she's going to she'll let that be.
Yeah. And I think as you look away from Garrett, you notice a car not too far off. And like that must have just parked there or something. Where you're like you didn't even see any light from any headlights or something. But it catches your eye because it's the same model that red-haired Chloe stepped into earlier this day.
About how far away is it?
It's like down the street. Like Garrett is kind of coming up from the stone beach at the lake.
Is it
up?
Does it look like Garrett's gonna pass by it?
Yeah, Garrett is basically coming up a couple of stairs to onto the street where that car is standing.
So
and then you see that car, without turning its headlights on, start accelerating. I think, like straight for Garrett. What do you do?
Garrett does not approve of this.
If she sees it start accelerating toward Garrett, I think she's going to it's going to take her by surprise, of course, and she's going to try to make off in a run toward it. I think just calling out his name, yelling, "Look out!"
Yeah. I think this is going to be our final roll for the night. So, right, Garrett, you do not want to get hit by a car, I assume?
No, I don't, but do I see it is a valid question. Do I notice it's coming towards me?
I think this is what this role is about.
Okay.
If you notice in time, but you've got Penny's assistance here, so you both get to roll your human die.
Okay.
And
my job definitely, my talent wouldn't help me. I don't have anything that would help me. I would just roll my human die.
Yeah, I think that goes for both of you, unless someone wants to add their insight die.
You can add it after you roll, correct? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna roll one then.
Yeah. Oh God. Garrett has died.
Pour one out for Garrett.
Reroll.
I would like to re-roll. Can I do that?
Yeah, we did it slightly wrong before, because if you haven't rolled your insight die yet, then you just roll the insight die additionally now.
Mm-hmm.
So
only roll 1d6 right now.
So only 1d6.
Okay. God fucking damn it!
Can I roll my insight die?
It might be meant for Garrett to go out.
Yes, you
it's
can.
Your time.
It's your time to go. It's your time to go.
Get a 4.
Okay.
What does that mean for my insight?
So, you do what you want to do, and you do it well.
I stuntman my way out of the
But
front.
first, before you do, it's also your insight die, so you need to make an insight check. You need to roll another d6 and see if that comes up higher than 2.
Do I need to do that as well because I rolled mine?
No, because you wasn't you had 2 2s, so that's fine. So yeah, I think
I have a 3 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I'm alive.
yeah, you do it, and I think the way you do it is you catch that there's a car coming at you at the last second, right? And it's not been going fast yet. And it's going to hit you, but at the last second,
Jump up and do a barrel roll right over the top of it.
well, almost. It's not going that fast, but you jump up and you just hit it on.
Sorry.
You hit it. What's the front called?
The hood.
Yeah, on the hood. And there's a split second where you're basically grab onto the hood and look and inside, and
Who do I see?
you're looking straight into your wife's face.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
There's so many of them.
As the car swerves and you roll off the side of it unhurt, but
I was
completely
a little
shaken.
loosey-goosey, so I
Yeah, and completely shaken as Penny comes like running up to you, because from your Garrett just got hit by a car and is like miraculously unhurt, but got hit by a car that's driving off now. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Who the fuck are all these women?
Oh my god!
This is why you don't give yourself X's in your backstory. Or you give yourself a lot of them.
It's supposed to be
You
dead.
either give yourself none or give yourself all of them to make an army.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I love this game a lot. Yeah, we're gonna go around and do outros. Starting with we're gonna start with Birdie.
Okay. Hi. I'm Birdie, aka the Birdiesaurus, aka Garrett, the poor sad boy that's very confused. But you guys can find me at the Birdiesaurus on pretty much everything on the internet, and got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We're coming back with Dominion of Estland on the 21st, so if you guys wanted to catch some Heroes of Awesome, you can do that. Just look at my pinned tweet on my Twitter. I've got lots of games and fun stuff coming up, including Thursday's Encounter Roleplay, Deck of Many Worlds.
Next, Summer.
Hello, I am Summer. You can find me on Twitter at Just a Summer Job, where I retweet everything that's going on. Biggest thing is tomorrow is our first session back with Ryutama over on Dylan's channel, Anarysis here on Twitch. It's going to be a time. We left off in a very sad spot, so I'm really excited. This will be the second half of season 1. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter, and then I'll be back here. I'm having a good old time. I'm just lining up dates left and right. It's going really well. So y'all are having a weird time. You should do what I'm doing. Just not getting into trouble.
Listen for the grunts.
Or get into the trouble that you want to get into. You should have taken the weed.
I thought Garrett did take the weed.
I think
and that's why he was so fucked up.
That's why you were so chill. I forgot.
Yeah. Garrett got high with his ex-elementary school students.
It's really good. It's so funny.
I love this town. I mean, besides the murder and all the women looking the same, it's a great place to live.
If you don't give me that weed, I'm going to tell your parents you're in a graveyard. Like, what?
If you don't give me that weed, I'm going to tell your parents we're smoking weed.
Mal, what about you?
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at Maladale. Tomorrow you can find me on Imperator Penguin's channel, Tommy, where we'll be playing, I think, well, I suppose I shouldn't say that. We might be playing more things from the flood, depending on if half our cast is not dealing with
An
hurricane.
actual flood.
Find out. Yeah. We'll find out. We're still waiting, but there's a possibility that we'll play. Otherwise, you can find me Tuesday on Scraticus Academy for the finale of Twilight Sands Alice's Call of Cthulhu campaign, where things are sort of maybe finally making a little bit of sense. And when we end, there probably will be a whole lot of questions anyway, because it's Cthulhu.
Matthias, what about you?
Hi, you can find me at MTHSBLGR on Twitter. And tomorrow on Pen and Paper Pals for
Burning Will, perhaps?
Burning Wheel, yes, exactly. Which I'm very much looking forward to. And on Wednesday, back here for Occult, another game in our Sum of Spooks series. That'll be run by Mikhail. And on Thursday, off _ the table for Sangahona the Claiming, as well as on Friday. And then Saturday, it'll be another Burning Wheel game on Anaris' channel. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Katie. You know where to find me. I'm Katie Face everywhere. Mondays and Tuesdays, usually we have Monster of the Week and Masks here. We won't be having it this upcoming week. I'm out of town. Tomorrow I will be on Pen and Paper Pals along with Matthias playing Burning Wheel. I'm very excited for that, to play my Witch of the Wilds character. I'm super excited to summon some demons or something. I don't know. Thursdays I'm usually on Off the Table playing Urban Shadows. Probably won't be there this week. Might be there on Friday though. Saturday, or like Matthias said, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be here with Mikhail's occult game, which the wonderfully named Welcome Home to Creeper Town. Love it. And Saturday we'll be back here for the continuation of our 3-part spooky D&D series at 3, I believe, 3:33. We'll see. Whenever we go live, you'll get the notification if you follow. That's about all I know. And then yeah, that's where you will find me. And I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun, and we will see you back here for more Kanatadark in 2 weeks. Hope everyone has a great night and a wonderful weekend. Bye everyone.